We're all asking the same question. Where is Iceman, Drake's new record? It is now Saturday, October 25th, and obviously yesterday, on the Friday that we thought he could possibly drop, he didn't. But we're going to go over everything that happened in the meantime because there's actually quite a bunch of stuff going on surrounding Iceman that we need to take a look at. So let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. You can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So yesterday was Friday, October 24th, and for a lot of reasons, we thought that Drake would be dropping Iceman. First of all, it was OVO, October's very own month, and he teased at this. His last record dropped in October, and the 24th was the last possible date if he wasn't going to drop on Halloween when he could have dropped. Also, it was Drake's birthday, which he also posted about on social media, which he looked to be enjoying quite a bunch, and which he celebrated on the Bahamas. Now, we're going to be talking about the Bahamas a little bit more in this video, so that is an interesting and very important detail. And also, if you remember the first episode for Iceman in the Rollout series, at the end where he's punching in him just leaving the job as the employee, he's punching in the number 1024. So obviously, it all looked like he was going to drop. It didn't, though. He did not drop Iceman. And also, we didn't get a new episode. We did get nothing. So that's pretty disappointing for a lot of fans. Nevertheless, though, there are quite a bunch of interesting things that did happen concerning the record that we need to take a look at. Now, we have to take a look at none other than Johnny Manziel. Yeah, that's the former quarterback that is also pretty good friends with Drake, because he went on a Drake celebration post tour on social media. Now, this was prior to Friday, so this was Wednesday and Thursday, so we thought that this was also all leading into Drake dropping that Friday, which he didn't, but we need to take a look at this because there's quite a bunch of things going on. So first of all, he posted on just his normal feed a picture of, it was a lot of pictures, a lot of slides, but one of them was his Owl OVO chain, and in the caption, he wrote, "Hopped on a jet to South Beach and tried my best to burn the city down. Caught a flight down to the Bahamas because it's Iceman time and the Baccarat tables were calling my name." So in the caption, he is directly referencing Iceman and him going to the Bahamas. So again, going to the Bahamas, Drake celebrated his birthday in the Bahamas, and it's Iceman time. Now, further connected to this, he also posted him being in the studio, apparently in the Bahamas, in the studio, listening to Virginia Beach. And we also have other clips of him just being in the studio listening to Drake songs in the Bahamas. Another person who flew down to the Bahamas was P&D, Party Next Door. Very close Drake collaborator, recently dropped a project together with him. It cannot get any closer. OVO member, also in the Bahamas. So prior to that, it looked like one of these Kanye West things where he just flies everybody out to one city or one country where they finish the album and put it out there, and that's kind of like the zone where they're locked in. It seemed to be like that. Now it looks like maybe they were all just celebrating Drake's birthday. And we're going to get the record at another point in time. But still, very interesting detail concerning all of this. Again, it doesn't stop here with Johnny Manziel. He goes on. He posted a story where he's riding around in a golf cart listening to Star 67, a top-tier Drake song, by the way, so very good taste on his side. But he even went on posting Instagram stories about how 40 sampled Tuscan Leather with I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. Crazy sample flip, by the way. Also, really great song and taste. Anyway, he also posted a picture of him with Drake. So, two of them linking up. He reposted a post from OVO, also, giving cheers to P&D for a break in 1 billion streams on Spotify. So, he was just reposting Drake at every opportunity that he has. Another person that we know about who might be closely connected to Drake is Rob H-Town, who also posted Iceman's coming soon, but I wouldn't put a lot of weight or a lot of importance on that. Anyway, still, it all looked like it was going to be dropping this Friday. It obviously didn't, and we're still waiting here like, okay, when is this going to drop? Where is this all going? We just don't know at this point. The only option, as I have previously also said, would be Halloween, would be a drop of Scary Hours 4, even though then that is not Iceman. So we have to wait and see. One more thing Drake related that I did want to show you to leave us on a positive note while being in the unknown about when the new record is dropping is an interview that Yeat recently gave to Complex. Complex cover story for him, and in that cover story he talked about Drake. And in the interview for the cover story, he was asked, "You were on Drake's Iceman live stream this summer exactly 4 years after meeting him back in 2021. Y'all remember that legendary photo. How did that original photo you took with him change things for you?" And he said, "It definitely changed things because it showed that I wasn't just this small underground thing anymore. I was getting recognition from one of the biggest artists in the world, if not the biggest. It changed things for everybody, for my fans and for outsiders. They're like, who the fuck is this kid? It really put an eye on what I was doing, and we didn't end up dropping a song until however many years later, but we always stayed close through that." They ended up collaborating on For All the Dogs. Then it seemed like there was always a real relationship there. Yeah, that's how I like to do any of my collaborations. I have to know the person. We have to be cool. Otherwise, I won't release music with them. If I don't like somebody, then they can't work with me. We have to have a personal connection. You guys made a lot of great songs now, including Doghouse, which was the song that dropped as the third single to the Iceman episodes, which you just dropped. On a pure musical level, what's your favorite thing about collaborating with Drake? He's just really good at making really good music. He has unlimited hits. He can really just sit there and do it over and over again. Being around him, it makes sense why he's in the position he's in. It's great to witness. Being on the road with him was fun too. The shows are crazy. And what have you learned from being around him? I've learned how to operate at a higher level, just from being around him and peeping the way he moves. Watching him do these shows and the way it's all set up, it's giving me a lot of good insight in how you take things to the next level. And then he's taken it bigger than anyone has ever, and Yeat concludes, "That's what I'm saying. I always knew I was going to be big. I didn't think there was ever a cap to how big I'm going to get because of how creative I am and how far I'm down to push the boundaries. But seeing it firsthand and being around the boy, it was good insight. And that's my brother. It was good to see how shit works at that level and at that capacity." And I just thought there was a better way to end this video, giving some positive recognition of the relationship between Yeat and Drake, than just saying we don't know when the album is dropping, but obviously we don't know when the album is dropping. We're looking at next Friday now because October, because it was just his birthday, but realistically we don't know. If anything does happen, I'll make sure to keep y'all updated, so make sure you stay subscribed. Until the next video, I do want to know what y'all think about this. When do you think Iceman is realistically dropping? Do you think it's going to be next Friday, October 31st on Halloween, Scary Hours 4, or Iceman? Or do you think it'll be later on? If so, when? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.